I'm not in the business of caring about people's feelings, bud. Yeah? Boo fucking who?
Hey.
Hi.
Listen, I know what you must be thinking, but don't bother.
I'm sorry, but I don't see how you know what I must be thinking.
You've killed people. You should be dead yourself. Or inside. You're just lucky it was me and not someone else who got their hooks into you. I'm sorry that I lied to you. And weirdly, in some ways, you're a nice guy. Better than the creeps I normally date. But you're damaged goods.
No doubt.
Let's go. In here.
Salute? Eat my ass, buddy. I'm up for the promotion, and you're not.
What the hell are we doing here?
We're going to meet someone.
Sounds fun.
You know, you and your cousin, you should get out. What you're looking for, you won't find. Feds are all over it. Crime is done. You've watched too many movies.
Whatever you say, Michelle. Or whatever your name is.
It's Karen. My name is Karen.
Interesting. And you whore for the government. I kind of like the honesty in that.
I have a clear conscience.
How very lucky for you.
In here, office 396.
Hi there.
Here he is.
I can see that. Thanks, Karen. Hey, cheer up. You did good. You'll get a Sammy, if you care about that sort of thing.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Bellic. Quite a file. Quite a story.
Who are you? FIB?
The FIB? Do I look homosexual? Do you think I care about the size of your Johnson? Now, you can't always tell who the good guys are. I'm not a good guy, but I'm fighting with them. And guess what? So are you.
Hooray.
That's the spirit. Nothing like a bit of sarcasm when someone's got you by the balls. Now, I need you to find something out for me. Find out everything you can about a man called Oleg Minkoff. He lives on Iroquois, back in Hove Beach.
And if I say no?
I hand your file over to those cretins in the FIB, and organized crime has dealt another serious blow. Go to his house. Any problems, call this number.
What's your name?
Not relevant. Call me. Very soon. Go. And hey, welcome to America. Baskala Stala Dejava.
Bushka.
Hello everyone, welcome back to GTA 4, and yeah, we are now working for United Liberty Paper, which is a basically a front company for some vague, undefined government agency. I never really liked or understood this part of the game when I was a little baby playing it. But now that I'm a big boy, it's one of the more interesting parts of the game's story to me. And before I recorded this video, I was doing some reading up on the GTA Wiki of some of the characters and things in this game to get any background that I might miss, because, you know, sometimes, you know, pertinent information that gives you a little bit to chew on in terms of the backgrounds of these characters. You only get hints to it in a lot of the cutscenes and the regular dialogue, but, you know, if you call them or if you hang out with them a certain number of times, sometimes you can get some shit out of them that you don't always hear when you're playing through the game. So that's why things like the GTA Wiki are useful. But I was looking at it, and I forgot how many intertwining things there are in this game. You know, one thing that you'll notice in the second half of this game, which is coming pretty shortly, we're coming up to being about halfway through the game, I would say. With the caveat that most missions in the second half of the game are longer than a lot of the missions in the first half. But, not all of them. Hold on, let me drink water while I think of what I was gonna say. Yeah, like I was saying, one thing that you'll notice in the second half of this game is you hear a lot of names. A lot of names get thrown about. You meet a lot of random, interchangeable like mafioso men, and all these different crime families. And it can you kind of can get lost in the sauce after a while. But all of them do like have thought through connections and relations. All of these things like the Lost and randos that you're gonna meet on in other missions that you don't end up working for or seeing again. And then I completely forgot about the expansions, the Liberty City stories that goes with this game, which is The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony, as I'm sure most of you know. And I've actually never beaten either of those games. I've played through a little bit of Lost and Damned, but maybe I'll play through them, and if I like them, then maybe, in the future, not, right now or right after I finish this, maybe I'll do LPs of those. They're not as long as full GTA games. I'd say they're each about, it would probably be like doing another full GTA game. They're probably each about half of the length of a normal game. But, yeah, we've already met Johnny, briefly, in one of Elizabeta's, missions, one of those cutscenes. And we're going to meet Louise, who is not Louise. I'm trying to say Louis, but the way that he says it with an accent. But I'm fucking Lily White, so sorry. He is the protagonist, the playable character of Ballad of Gay Tony. So, yeah, bro. Maybe I'll do that because I forgot when I was looking through the GTA Wiki. I forgot that like those guys, a lot of things that are kind of not really explained or kind of left ambiguous in this game with regards to certain characters, particularly Ray Bulgarin, the human trafficker person that, tracked Nico down and is in cahoots with Dimitri. He plays a much more prominent role in Ballad of Gay Tony than he does in the main game. And I sped this chase up because it is just yet another scripted chase where, you can shoot him all you want, but you won't actually be able to kill him until a certain time. And I sucked dick at this mission. And fun fact, I actually had to do this mission and the next mission I'm going to do twice for some reason. Like, it autosaves after every single mission, but when I reloaded my save to record, to start recording parts 17 and 18's gameplay, they weren't done, and I had to do them again. And I did much better on the second attempt, but that one wasn't recorded, so sorry. But yeah, I just figured you don't want to just watch me. You've already seen me drive. We're 9 minutes into the video. You don't want to watch 5 more minutes of me driving around.
Long shot, smartass. Nothing is safe. No one is safe. Maybe something has been averted. Maybe delayed. I'll be in touch. Goodbye.
The UL paper guy is fully Joker-fied. But yeah, UL paper is an interesting thing because they, so something that I didn't know is that Michelle/Karen, I forgot that she makes an appearance in GTA 5 very briefly, working as a rather brutal interrogator for the IAA, which is not in this game, but it's in 5, and it is a counterpart agency to the FIB, which is in this game and is obviously the FBI. And the IAA is kind of like a mix of the CIA and the NSA, because there's, like, they basically do what the CIA does in real life, in terms of sort of being the organized crime for capitalism in America. But, they also they have a much more like surveillance and like techie surveillance vibe to them that is more in line with the NSA. Anyway, but she works for them, and the UL paper guy says that they gave her life back. So there's some sort of like undefined criminal past for Michelle. And so I guess, you know, she's in a similar boat that Nico is, in that she's just being blackmailed into doing quote-unquote, you know, country-saving work, getting terrorists, suspected terrorists or organized crime boys. And, I don't know. It adds interesting, wrinkles to this here story. You know what I mean? Anyway, here is a familiar face.
Hey!
Hey,
Nico! It's me, Hassan!
Hassan! How are you? Wow, man. It's good to see you.
Ah, you too.
Why does Nico sometimes sound sarcastic when he's being nice?
Did you meet your cousin?
Maybe it's his blank expression.
Complicated. How about you?
Non-stop madness! Brilliant! I have met a lot of lunatics and life is wild. My friend's uncle gave me a job selling handbags. Knockoffs, you know.
Sure.
It's so easy! Easier than working on the goddamn boat anyway. And women, they love you, man. After 3 months on that ship, let's just say I was not cut out for the sailor's life. Ah, shit. It's good to see you.
You too.
Hey, Hassan speaking. Yes, I'm on my way. Nico, what are you up to?
Nothing too urgent.
Hey, why don't you walk with me? I've got to go collect some money.
Nothing. Just 2 of my friends are both telling me to kill the other one.
Hey, Nico, man! We need a car!
Okay, like, maybe I'm stupid, but didn't he act like we were walking somewhere? And then he watches me get into the car and doesn't know that that's the one that I want him to get into. You freaking dummy. But then I did a double dumb and started going in the direction of my green waypoint and not the mission waypoint.
What are you up to, Nico?
We all have our moments, folks. Anyway, but yeah, I don't think did I even, like, really make a point about UL paper or anything? I was just kind of talking about it. Well, I was looking into Nico's background because I wanted to see if they had, like, a definite country that he's supposed to be from. I don't know if it's ever explicitly said in the game, but the GTA Wiki has him as being from Yugoslavia of Serbian descent. And the most probable army that he was fighting in was in the Yugoslav Wars in the Yugoslav People's Army. And when I inevitably try to do my like big hot take on everything about this game by the end of my LP of it, I'm between now and then I'm gonna have to do some research on, you know, Yugoslavia and you know, the Bosnian historical region and those wars and everything, because that's one of those elements of contemporary history that I have no fucking clue about any of it. Really not a conflict that gets talked about all that often, but that we did have, we being the US, have a stake in and have involvement in, from what I gather. And not an insignificant thing in the history of Europe at all. So, I want to learn more about it anyway, but specifically so I can kind of understand more about what what Nico is, and you know where he's coming from, what his background is, because I believe that the Yugoslav People's Army was the aggressor, or at least the person doing the ethnic cleansing, the entity doing the ethnic cleansing. And Nico does say that he saw and participated in various atrocities, so that would make sense. But if so, I think that's neat that they would have this character be having fought in a war in a, I'm not going to say imperialist or colonial because I don't know the history of these places, but, you know, the aggressor that's going against what I believe was the ethnic majority, which was the Bosniaks. But again, I don't want to get too deep into it. I don't want to talk about it too much or run my mouth and say some shit because I don't know. If anyone who watches my videos happens to be from the area or whatever, or just have an education on it, or know of any good sources of information where someone who wants to learn about it could do so, and about its background and all that, let me know, because, excuse me, you know, I'm always looking to learn more about the world and history and whatnot, and get a better understanding of the world around me. But those are the kind of events that are kind of hard to just like Google and find good information on because, you know, those kinds of events, the causes and background is not always as straightforward as, you know, a cursory reading of the Wikipedia article would give you, you know. Anyway, so this is the Holland play, which was sort of started in earnest in the last video, where you are given the choice to kill either Playboy X or Dwayne, and as you can see, I have made the decision to kill Playboy, because he is kind of annoying, and I feel bad for Dwayne. Dwayne is kind of annoying afterward when he begs you to hang out with him all the time, just because there's other people to hang out with in this game to appease, and they are people that like have something to do with the story and also are funnier, like Roman and Brucie, for instance, and girlfriends. But yeah, I've pretty much never killed Dwayne. I think I have once in a playthrough, and I just don't find it to be as satisfying. And to me, it narratively makes more sense because Nico, like, has a professed affinity for Dwayne. So, anyway, you gotta take down his goons. And he has an identical apartment to you in Algonquin, which is funny. And makes sense. But yeah, kabam. Me thinking there's gonna be more gunmen. Who let the money go to their head? Who was he talking about? He wasn't talking about me, because I'm actually, like, the one, if you don't do this, if you kill Dwayne, then Playboy gives you, like, a shitload of money. So I'm doing the less greedy option. Although, spoilers, you do get Playboy's apartment if you kill him. Which is, like, kind of superfluous and not as useful as money because you already have an apartment in Algonquin, like, 2 feet away. And yeah, I forgot that he has people come up in a Patriot and shoot at you. But no matter. No match for me. And yeah, I thought he was dead, but no. Playboy has a fuckload of health, remember? And I took out the pistol because I thought it would just take one headshot and be done, but apparently not. He's a rascally... Oh boy, he really can take it. Took like 7 shots in the head. So there you have it, folks. Playboy's dead.
Dwayne, I dealt with Playboy. You should know that he asked me to end you first. He's going to pay me a lot of money to do it.
Shit, man. He was a good kid back in the day. Always hungry, though. Always wanted more. Maybe I should have seen it then. Kept a closer eye on him.
You can't predict what people will become.
You right. I can't give you no money for helping me, son. But I got the deed to Playboy's fancy milkshake loft. You can have it.
Hey, man, I seen where you're living. You should take it.
Nah. It'll make me remember the kid too much. Maybe you'll stop by my place sometime, though. Hang out with me. I don't have many friends left, you know.
I'll give you a call sometime soon, Dwayne. Later on.
So yeah, now we can use Playboy's apartment, and now we have a Patriot, so we can have fun and ruin all these cars. And so I thought I would just give you a little taste of that. I didn't want to. I actually did this for way longer, but I didn't want to belabor things too much. I didn't want to bore you. I honestly did not mean to run over that person. I'm trying to be a car-only Destructo man. Although there are people in the cars, so that's kind of... But yeah, it's just so funny, and sometimes you get stuck in a tree like that. Hilarious. This is what it's all about. GTA. World Star. Murder. Someone uploaded that on World Star, that would be fucked.
Brucie, what's up? Drink?
Two hard bodies like ours out of the town. Bitches beware. ETD next hour, alright?
Sounds fun, man. I'll pick you up.
So yeah, I thought, you know, we've been doing some heavy lifting here lately. We've been doing a lot of story missions, and I think it's time to not hit a police officer and just lay back, do something a little fun, go out for drinks, crack open a couple cold ones with the fellas. Well, one of the fellas. Man, I wish you could get a group going. If you could get Brucie and Roman and take them out drinking, that would be really good. Also, fun fact, this is edited out, but I actually went back to Playboy's apartment.
Nico, man, I'm going crazy. Since I got out, things just don't make no sense.
Have things ever made sense?
They made sense inside. 3 meals a day, time in the yard, lockdown today. Things out here is mad crazy.
Tell me about it.
On the down low, I think Playboy wants me dead. Like
Yeah, I think we've already seen this. But yeah, this is when I had to redo these missions. So sorry that you're hearing this a second time. I didn't even really... I thought this was Dwayne already asking you to hang out, and I was like, God, I'm on my way to fucking hang out with Brucie. Anyway, oh, fuck, I don't remember what I was saying. I think I was saying it would be funny if you could get Brucie and Roman to go drinking with you at the same time. That was probably it.
Let's bounce, homie!
100 yards. Turn. The thing is, Nico, there's something you don't understand about me, bro.
Definitely true.
I know it all seems straightforward. What you see is what you get, okay?
No, trust me. It seems pretty weird.
Underneath these rock-hard abs and biceps of steel lurks the beast, bro!
What?
I'm a wild animal, man. I'm a raging torrent, bro!
Sure. My English not so good. Can you keep it simple?
I'm an animal on fire. I'm crazy, local, lunatic. Look, all I'm saying, man, don't unlock the forces. You can't possibly...
That was fucking close. Would have been totally their fault, though. Police touched me. Also, I was just thinking, Brucie reminds me of someone that I went to college with. They weren't quite as crazy as him. They didn't do steroids, but they were, like, fairly big exercise heads for a minute. Like, they went through a phase of being like, oh, yeah, I love the gym. They did just get really hyped up and, you know, randomly be like, you know what, I'm actually fucking crazy, man, and blah blah, and like say shit like that. I don't know how to take that. But anyway, here's some hilarity. This is what I'm trying to do when this fucking quarantine shit's over. It's time to get drunk and fucking fly into the air and flop on the ground with my fellas. Oh yeah, and get on top of them and cuddle them like that. This is exactly what I want. I want what they have.
We out of money? Did you see the way those bitches was
love my shit. Yeah,
I missed that, Brucie.
This is what Michelle was missing. How fuck? Damn! I'm sorry, Brucie. Jesus Christ. When you ragdoll so hard, you break your arm? Jesus Christ. Oh, now we're butt fucking. He keeps, like, clipping into me. This is what I want. I want to do this with someone. I want to get so drunk we start clipping through each other. And then I'll do this. This is just a normal, like, pair of drunk New York guys. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say earlier. I was gonna say, I went to Playboy's apartment off-screen, between last thing and this. And, I talked to Brucie after the mission, but it was like 2 a.m., which I thought Brucie would definitely be up at 2 a.m., but he was asleep, and he told me to call back at 8 a.m., so I called back at exactly 8 a.m., and we got fucking drinks at 8 a.m. And then this very awkward thing happened. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway. More wonderful Grand Theft of Autos, as you can see here, in the next video. See you then for that.